How much does a trip to Greece cost? In this video, we will explain here all the costs and everything you need to hire and buy to be able to make a very nice trip to Greece, which is the dream of many people. Of course, to know the Greek islands that are sensational, I'll show you here quickly and in a very nice way all the costs, accommodations, tours, the ferries for you to go from one island to another, the cost of travel insurance, transportation, chip, everything right for you to really know how much a trip to Greece costs. Let's go! Hey guys, my name is Gabriel Lorenzi from the Grupo Dicas, one of the largest travel content networks in the world, and today we are going to talk about how much a trip to Greece costs, which is the dream of many people. From my family, I know many people who has the dream to be in a trip to the Greek islands. Everyone talks a lot about it and it really is a paradisiacal place and worth being people's dreams because it's sensational, but many people do not know how much, Gabriel, how much does it cost, how much will I spend? We made a very nice video here making a very nice trip there, knowing the main places, okay, for 10 days. In Greece, the focus is the islands, okay? You will arrive at Athens because the most flights go to Athens. Then you will get there in Athens. In Athens, you will stay for 3-4 days. It's great. It's a very nice city. You will see the Acropolis and everything. But then you have to embark for the Greek islands that you have to take either a boat or plane. You go to Mykonos, Santorini, Crete. There are several options. In this video, we made the values based on 4 days for Athens, 2 in Mykonos and 2 of Santorini, but then you adapt your itinerary. See it, right? This is just for you to have a starting point and really get to know how much the trip to Greece is gonna cost you in general. So let's go for the prices. And guys, important tip before opening the table, come on, we calculated a trip with a duration of 10 days, okay? So it's a total of 10 days of traveling. All values that I put here for those 10 days already complete, total value. It's the value per person. If you're traveling with 2 people, just multiply it by 2 and 3 by 3. But this value that will be here also is per person for 10 days of traveling and in a period of low and good season that we call. Why? In all of Europe, in all of the countries, June, July, and August is the European summer. Everything is much more expensive, so this year I researched it from October 1st to October 10th, which is a very good time to go to Europe. It's not cold yet, everything's cheaper, but if you intend to travel during the European summer, June, July, and August, then you will have to increase a little, 25-30%, because things are more expensive. This value is for the period of October during 10 days and per person. Then we'll put it in euros, okay? We'll not put it in any other currency because the euro is the official currency of the trip to Europe. So if I put another currency here, the exchange rate will vary. It will be a very big difference. 2 months from now, the way the market is volatile, it will go up and down. Then the whole exchange rate will change, so it will be a very distant value. So the safest and most practical ways for us to put here the values in euros. So officially opening our table, we are going to put 2 columns that you're seeing here, which are 2 profiles, right? We always do this. The economic profile will put here the values for a person who wants to travel, saving as much as possible on everything. You want everything cheaper, you want to enjoy the trip, you don't worry about staying in a quieter hotel, not doing some tours, a very economical cost. And on the side, the comfort column that we call the profile that wants to have a little more comfort, a hotel a little cooler, do a little more sightseeing, we'll spend a little more and we'll have a trip a little more complete, right? So we'll put these 2 profiles, see which one you fit in, and let's go for the prices. Let's see the first category. So let's go, guys. The trip there costs in average 800 euros. You can try to search sometimes, as in Europe everything is very close. You can search sometimes for tickets to the closest countries, to the main tourist cities. There are many famous tourist cities in Europe that receive many flights, sometimes from Brazil, from the airport where you are located, from the country where you live. So there are several ways for you to search, okay? But nowadays, a ticket there leaving from my country, from the biggest airport in South America, which is São Paulo, we found here a price of 800 euros. It's a price that used to be cheaper, but after the pandemic the prices went up. It's a little bit more expensive. You can find cheaper prices but with a lot of promotions. Okay guys, you have to research a lot. And look, this price of 800 euros is a very good price, right? It's the price of the round trip, but it's more or less the price of an air ticket there. Converting it to our currency, it's a little bit expensive, it's a little bit high, but nowadays it's really good, a really good price for any air tickets to Europe, and in general in any country there you can find more or less the same thing. This value is going to be more or less the same for each one, but you can see if you have promotions or something else. Now the hotel, the lodging. How much are you going to spend for lodging? Guys, for the full 10 days of traveling, okay, we put here for 100 euros in the economy column and 600 euros in the comfort column. The economic is a slight simpler 3-star hotel with not very good reviews, and then the comfort one, which increases a little, going to 600 euros in total. We put a 3 or 4-star hotel with a better rating, a slightly nicer location, but both are good options, okay? Just for you to have an idea, I'll put some pictures of a hotel of this class at this average price that we looked for, just for you to have an idea, but they are already well located hotels, okay? I'll even take the opportunity to leave them here below in the description of the video and in the first fixed comment. The hotel we stayed at there, which was very good with excellent value for money. It was good, cheap, and well located. Take a look down here, search, because it was sensational, close to everything. We were able to do almost everything on foot. It was very nice. I'll leave below the link, guys, all the links to everything we use to make our trips, which are the places that we already know. We know that are the cheapest places, where to buy the cheapest travel chip, where to buy the cheapest hotel, where to buy the cheapest tickets, travel insurance, which is mandatory. Guys, I'll leave below a guide for you to plan your whole trip, saving the most on everything, okay? Then use the links here below in the first comment. You will save a lot of money during your entire trip with the best services. Now let's talk about food, guys. The food varies a lot, okay? It's very difficult to estimate, but I came up with a bill to be able to guide you a little bit. It's just for you to have an idea. I put here per day, per person, 40 euros per person in economy and 70 euros per person in comfort. So it was 400 and 700 multiplied by the 10 days of the trip, okay? This is a value. Can you spend less than this? Yes, if you go to the supermarket and buy a lot of pasta with 3 euros a day, you will survive. One thing is to survive and another thing is to enjoy the trip, not to have too much trouble. 40 euros, guys, I think is the minimum for you to be able to eat something nice at night. Eating a pizza, snacks, fast food is very cheap in the whole of Europe. You can share it with whoever is with you. Buy something at the market. Don't keep buying water, things. That are many tactics there to save money, but I think 40 euros for food in your whole day. I think that you will have coffee in the afternoon, you will have a beer, a drink, some candy, a snack, something, so we cover everything there. 40 euros and 70 euros for those who want a little more comfort to have lunch in a nice place. Guys, the restaurants there are sensational, the food there is very good, so enjoy. Take a nice place, go to a nice place in the afternoon, have some beer, watching the sunset, which is beautiful, so you will spend a little bit more, okay? This is the approximate value. And now let's talk about the travel chip. To be able to use your cell phone and the internet in Europe, one of the ways, in our opinion, is the easiest, cheapest, simplest way for you to use your cell phone there. It's to buy a travel chip. These are prepaid chips that you buy. Most of the time it's much cheaper than international roaming of your local operator, the company you already have on your cell phone bill. So buy the chip. It's the easiest way to talk abroad. It's costing here the 5 GB plan, which is a very good package with a lot of internet for the 10 days of trip, which works in the whole of Europe, independent of the other countries. The nice thing about this chip is that it works in all of Europe and it costs 40 euros per person. So 40 euros is the 2 columns. That's a pretty cool 5 GB plan. And now the travel insurance. How much does international travel insurance cost? But Gabriel, do I really need to take out international travel insurance? Yes, you do. For Europe, it's mandatory. Even for the countries that are not, we always recommend that you take it because it's very cheap and it covers you from absurd expenses of fortunes that you would spend if you have an unforeseen event, get hurt, have an accident. So do it for everywhere in the world, but for Europe, it's mandatory for all countries except England. England and 2 more that are less frequented countries, but all of the other countries it's only English that's not mandatory. To enter all the others you need to have insurance, and insurance is very cheap. I'll put here for you to see. It's 30 euros per person, and it's an insurance that covers you during your whole trip with an obligatory rule of the European Union, which is a medical assistance of at least 30,000 euros. This is the requirement that Europe demands from tourists who travel there. You can get a very good insurance with this coverage. It's very cheap. I'll put it here. Don't forget to take it so you won't have the problems at the entrance. And this value, people, you will see that's very cheap. You might look somewhere and say, Gabriel, you are traveling, the value is very cheap, here it's much more expensive. Yes, it's because we are looking in the places we know that's cheaper. I'll leave all the links. Guys, use these links. This one, for example, is a comparator that compares in all travel insurance companies, and it finds the insurance cheaper than in the insurance companies themselves and for less than half of the price than in travel agencies. So these are places that we already know are the cheapest, so take a look, use the links to calculate your trip before you go see anywhere else, and you will see that the price can be a huge difference from there. And now let's talk about transportation. I just made the other videos of the other cities in Europe, of the countries you spend less on transportation in the others, because you do a lot of walking, you don't need to rent a car in most of them, but Greece is different, right? To know, in Athens you will spend practically nothing, it's very cheap, Uber, cab, you will do everything on foot, it's well located. Now, the problem is the islands, okay? The islands will have a cost. I put here 400 euros in the economic column and 400 in the comfort column, okay? Which is the cost of what? Let's go. For you to go to the islands, you will need to take a plane, then from Athens to Mykonos, then to Santorini, then back to Athens. This route, either by ferry or by plane, usually has a very similar price. You have to research which is cheaper. You will spend, we did a general account per person, 400 euros. Okay, which will be the transportation between the islands. And to rent a car on the islands, you have to rent the car, because on the islands there is no public transportation, it's very difficult to get. The nice beaches are mostly more isolated, you will need to drive about 40 minutes. They are beautiful trips, but they have to be done by car. The car makes it much easier, and it's not expensive. The car there is not so expensive, it's very easy even. I'll leave you guys in the description a car rental comparator that we use, that it makes you rent the car much cheaper worldwide, including in Greece. We save a lot, but you have to put this cost, okay guys? Otherwise you will have some surprises there at the time, because this logistics of the islands ends up making the trip to Greece a little more expensive because of all these transportations and having to cross the sea to get from one place to the other with all the islands. If you are a little confused about the itinerary, after this video, watch what I did of the itinerary for Greece. Put it on YouTube, Itinerary for Greece, Gabriel, it will appear there. It's a very nice script that I explained exactly how many days to stay in each place, what to do, how it works, and everything you need. And now let's talk about the tours. The tours, guys, is the most difficult to stipulate because everyone does what they want. If the person doesn't want to do a tour, he doesn't need to spend anything. So in the economic column, I put 0 and why. You can go to Athens, you can walk around the streets, go to a restaurant, see the Acropolis from afar. I don't recommend it because it's sensational, it's worth entering, and it's not even that expensive. But you can do everything on foot. On the island, you don't really spend, right? The tours on the islands are very difficult. They are not like the other cities, Paris, Barcelona, where you need to buy a lot of tickets to go to the museums, climbing the Eiffel Tower, going to the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which is amazing, everyone has a ticket. On the beaches, on the islands, no, you will already be with the rental car, you get in the car, go to the beaches. There is this positive point in Greece, so 0 in economy, and I put here 100 euros in comfort, which is 35, 40 euros from the Acropolis. Guys, from the photos you are already recognizing it. It's a super famous place from movies, from mythology. It's there in Athens, near where you'll be staying, and a little more there if you want to take a boat trip on some island, do some different tour, but it's one of the countries that you spend less. And now, before I go to the final amount, just to explain, guys, this video was very focused on the cost, right? What's the value of each item? I didn't give so many tips that I don't normally give. What to do, where to stay, how to set up the itinerary, because this video was more to get a sense of the values. If you plan to travel there, watch our video on how to travel cheap to Greece. Put it on YouTube, how to travel cheap to Greece, Gabriel. Guys, it's a video we made very complete that explains how to organize your entire trip with all the tips and saving as much as possible on everything. In the places we already know, we know that's cheaper to rent the car, this is cheaper to buy tickets, this is the cheapest for chip for you to use your cell phone, we offer all the tips. It's the starting point for you to organize a trip on your own and save a lot of money. I think you're going to like that video. And we got to the final value. For the economic profile, 2,070 euros. Convert it to your currency and compare. It's an economic trip, okay guys, with you saving even. You can do cheaper than that, Gabriel, yes, but if you take much cheaper hotels, they will be bad hotels. You may have a problem or another. With food, you can sometimes save a lot, so this is a nice value, okay, for you to have a nice and economical trip. And for the comfort column, 2,670 euros for you to have a little more comfort, a nicer hotel, do a little more sightseeing, spend a little more in the restaurants that are very good, the food is very good. So this is the value, convert it to your currency and make the comparisons, and that's it guys. This is the value to take a trip to Greece. If you think it's cool, that's a good price, comment down here so we know your opinion about these values. If you think it's expensive, if you thought it was much less than that, comment too. It's very nice for us to have a sense of what people think, okay? And I think it's really worth a trip there. Give your opinion in the comments. I think it's gonna be kinda related to that, but you see which one's best. And that's it guys, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us the like and subscribe to the channel because that really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. I will highlight here how to travel very cheaply there in the playlist with all the other videos for you to enjoy guys. So thank you very much and have nice trips. See you next video.